Can I explain to you why you all think this and why this girl boss mentality's been brainwashing you?
Now. It's
a thing because all of you are on Instagram, all of you are on TikTok all day long. All of you listen to City Girls and Meg Thee Stallion and listen to Cardi B, and you worship these like Kim Kardashian type girls who are just professional hoes. And you thought that those are high value women, but really all of them are just bad wives. And you don't really know what's going to make a good wife anymore, what's going to make a good feminine woman anymore, because that's seen as oppressive. And feminism has done that and has brainwashed all of you.
What do you believe you're a high-class man?
Men became more feminine, and as a result, women became more masculine?
Yes, yes. They're trying to feminize men and masculinize women. And we're saying it all on this podcast.
But it all, the main antagonist in all this was feminism, though, because what feminism basically did was tell women that men and women are the same and we're equal.
And we're not.
And we're not. I mean, no offense to, Miss Red Dress over there, but she said something along, we can both be CEOs. Well, that's the mindset that many modern-day women have.
Can I explain?
Facts. Have I not been saying this on my channel from day one? Have I not been saying this on my channel for years and years and years? The real problem is feminism. That's the real problem, okay? It teaches women to be like men, which is ironic because real feminists, or real radical feminists, I should say, hate men, right? There's these nasty ones at the top who run the show, and they're really kind of, they're not really straight, right? And then they set the precedent for all the ones under them, and it's just this brainwashing tool to make women think that they can live by this double standard, which is that on the one hand I can go be a hoe, on the other hand I'm somehow high value just for existing, just because I'm a woman, and screw all men, and men are the enemy, and masculinity is toxic, all this stuff that they spew, right? Brainwashing, insidious, dangerous, sad, encouraging women to kill their children, encouraging women to be promiscuous, which is dangerous. All this negative stuff that comes from feminism, and women buy into it. They just buy into it. They just bite into that apple, and they just believe the devil. They believe what the devil's saying through this just cult of man hate. That's all feminism is. It's just a cult of man hate that really just ruins women. It's meant to attack and dismantle the nuclear family, particularly male leadership in any way, shape, or form, and in particular in the family and in the workforce. And what has that done? It's broken up marriages. The statistics for divorce almost doubled between 1960 and 1980. You can Google it. Almost doubled. And women like to use this excuse that, oh, well, women could just do it then. It's like, no, they were fine before. Statistically, actually, women are happiest as homemakers in the home, raising children. That's a fact. You can Google it. Women are not happy in the workforce. They're not happy trying to be like men. They end up single. Why? Because men do not want competition in a relationship. Men are not attracted to alpha females, boss women. Men are not attracted to women who are acting like men. That's not cool. Men like, hate to use this word, but men like submissive women. Men like women who want to compliment them, right? And a man likes to lead. It's in our nature. And actually, the irony is women like it when men lead. Women like it when men lead. This is why you have a lot of confused women out there, because they think they're supposed to compete with men. They think they're supposed to be leaders themselves. And this is why you got women who are taking antidepressants like crazy. The number one statistic, the number one demographic for antidepressants is white women. That they take the most antidepressants, white women. That's a fact. You can Google it. You can also Google the number one suicide rate demographic is men, right? Because men are out here, no support, right? We get thrown under the bus by women. Our masculinity itself is demonized, right? We're attacked questioned, hated, disregarded, disrespected, right? Put down. We're lonely, right? So this is why men are the ones who are committing suicide the most. We're not on antidepressants the most. Women are. We just turn the lights off. We just, press power on the game console. Why? Because we don't have support groups. We don't have, unfortunately, men don't take care of each other enough. Men need to support each other more. This is why men's rights activist groups, MRAs in general, is a good thing because it brings men together. We need that support. Men need support. But really what men need deepest in our core is a family. Men want and need and desire to protect and provide for a family. But that's been damaged. That's been uprooted by modern feminism. Radical feminism is the number one enemy of the family unit. It's the number one enemy of babies. They kill the most babies, right? It's the number one enemy of, really the economy, because now you have women flooding the workforce, women in competition with men, more women graduating from college than men. So men are just, whoever is pulling the strings, the puppeteer, really it's Satan, but who's ever pulling those strings, not realizing that they're working for Satan, is doing a good job. They know what they're doing. They're out here ruining families. This LGBTQ crap, polyamory, hookup culture, porn, Tinder, all these dating profiles. It's ruining families. And this is what's going on. Our society is corroding from the inside out. And you have these women on here with these tattoos and these nails and fake breasts and fake butts and fake faces, all kind of makeup, and got their hair done. Thousands of dollars go into just beautifying themselves, which is against the Bible. It's against, they're literally turning themselves into idols. It's idolatry, worshiping women. Right? This is our culture now. And so men are just committing suicide, and women are going crazy. Women need antidepressants. Men are like, I can't live in this world anymore. Men are just like, screw it. I don't advocate for that. You gotta make a way to get through. You are loved, you are needed, you are wanted, you are worth it. I don't care how bad these women make you feel. I don't care how bad your life gets. How little money you make, whatever you're going through, you are worth it to stay alive. Period. Don't let I've been to hell and back with women with bad relationships, and a girl yesterday told me I was ugly. She was trying to shut me up online, and I was saying something and talking about a red pill truth, and she was trying to shut me up, and she called me ugly because she was trying to attack me so that I'd shut up, because this is what they try to do. Whenever you speak the truth, they want to attack you. Just like Kanye West, they're attacking him as opposed to the truth that he's saying, right? Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Kanye West has got his own brand of crazy, and I know he's bipolar, and anyway, that's a whole nother story. But maybe that's not the best analogy, but because he's kind of, anyway, a little bit off the reservation. But anyway, a little bit in some ways. But I get what he's trying to say, even though he's not quite articulate enough to say it in the right way without offending. But anyway, that's another story. I just been watching Kanye West a bit. But let's I'm gonna continue this, and then I'm gonna break down a couple more points, and then I'm gonna end it.
See why you all think this, and why this girl boss mentality's been brainwashing you.
Now. It's a thing.
So what the girl boss mentality really is it's enthroning the woman above the man. That's what it's doing at its core. And the reason why it's doing that is because when you uplift a woman over a man, you dismantle the man's place in the world. You displace him. A woman should be, I hate to use the word submissive because it just sounds oppressive, but women like strong men. Women like male leadership, right? So when you enthrone a woman, up over and above a man, it takes away his role. It dismantles and dissipates his role as a masculine being. And his only opportunity to have a woman or to love a woman is to either be her equal, quote unquote, or below her. And most of the time it's below her, because you have this horrible saying, this horrible maxim, which is happy wife, happy life. I hate that maxim. Somebody put out a great video on it. Maybe it was a meme that I saw, and it was talking about how that phrase is not at all biblical. No, even though it says, husbands love your wives, it doesn't say you need to bend over backwards to make your wife happy, or to let her run the show. And that's a lot of times what ends up happening. It's funny how these subtle maxims can run our lives. Happy wife, happy life has ruined a lot of marriages from the inside out. There's a lot of marriages out there where the guy is just kind of a little lapdog to this strong-willed, strong-souled, egotistical woman who's really running the show, even though the man probably makes more money than her. Although nowadays a lot of women are working and making equal or more money than their men, which is bad in and of itself. But anyway, these relationships are dethroning men, and women are quite literally walking around saying we don't need men anymore, and yet they're all on antidepressants. They're all promiscuous, they're all damaged, they're all used goods, and you're just like, yeah, we've seen what you've done without men. You've ruined yourself, and you've ruined society. You're killing your babies by the millions. You're out here running amok like you got a license to do anything. There's no autonomy, there's no responsibility, there's no accountability. Their lives are based on lies, using men. It just, the list goes on. That's the result of being a girl boss. You just have, and I don't know why. It's like, in a way, I'm fine with women, with women having autonomy. It's just that you can't have autonomy without accountability. Autonomy without personal responsibility it's asinine. It doesn't make sense. It's an oxymoron. If you're going to be a responsible adult, you have to have accountability, and women are not taking accountability for their actions. They're not taking accountability for the damage that their behavior is causing and has caused on so many levels. So you can't be a boss. You can't be, throw that word out. You can't be a mature adult if you're not owning up to your own behavior. If you're not, you can't be mature, but at the same time have no self-awareness. It just doesn't work.
All of you are on Instagram, all of you are on TikTok all day long. All of you listen to City Girls and Meg Thee Stallion and listen to Cardi B, and you worship these like Kim Kardashian type girls who are just professional hoes. And you thought...
Yeah, and I've been saying that on my channel since day one. That's how it starts. That's how the devil has brainwashed young women. And he brainwashes young men too through the music, Drake and even Kanye West and Jay-Z and all these rappers and musicians who are just promoting lust and greed, promoting this modern type of lifestyle where everybody places all the emphasis on money. There's no emphasis on character. There's no emphasis on love anymore. I'd say go back and listen to songs from the 1970s, songs from the 1960s, 50s. It's all about love, community, peace. Let's get together and be all right. Bob Marley's one of the greatest, if not the greatest musician of all time in my book. They don't make songs like that anymore. Where are those songs? They're out the window. All you hear now is just murder, death, kill, pimp women, do drugs, sell drugs, It's all about money, and it's like you can't listen to modern music today and not realize it's satanic. And you have to be lost in the sauce. You have to be lost mentally and spiritually. Where's your heart? It's hard for me to listen to any music today and not see a satanic influence. It's there. It's everywhere. It's in R&B. It's in rap. It's in pop. It's in, you name it. That's why I listen to classical music. When I drive, and when I'm at home, I like nice instrumental calming music. There's brain, it affects your brain. There's brain frequencies that it puts out, or the gigahertz or whatever in the frequency in the music. It damages. There's certain frequencies that damage your brain. It's also brainwashing. When you repeat certain choruses and you repeat certain words in the song, which if you listen to a lot of songs, it's repetitive for a reason. The reason why they repeat the chorus and the reason why it's catchy and it gets stuck in your head is because it's brainwashing. That's how Satan damages the world. That's how Satan damages society, is a lot of it through the music, a lot of it through the media and the entertainment. So yes, these women idolize Cardi B, who's a horrible person. She admitted to robbing and drugging men, right? J-Lo, Britney Spears, who I guess is now coming out with a sex tape. I mean, these people are sick. J-Lo's had like 5 different husbands. She's now currently married to Ben Affleck, and they've got like a cheating clause where, like, if one of them cheats, there's some kind of penalty, which is weird. It's the whole thing. You can Google it, but it's just weird, man. These women are sick and damaged, and they're the idols. Megan Thee Stallion. What's her name? Oh man, what's that other one's name? Not Cardi B, but I forget her name. The other one. They're all just one is worse than the other. Every new one is worse than the last one. Taylor Swift is horrible. They're so influential, and this is the product. He's totally right. He hit it right on the head. This is the product. The product is these women who walk around like they're celebrities just because they're attractive, who go on Instagram and pretend to be models when really they're just escorts, they're just hookers, and they've got no character. And so how is that how's anything good with that? How is that self-confidence? How is that? Did they earn it, or did they just spend $1,000 on makeup?
But those are high value women, but really all of them are just bad wives, and you don't
100%. They're just bad wives. They're just bad people, period. They might be entertaining. They might make a catchy song that's like, oh yeah, this is cool. I can go to the club to this. Like I mean, not me, but so I'm sure some people feel that way. And that's their only value. They're not good people. Would you, as a father, want your daughter to be twerking naked in some music video? Heck no. Would you want your daughter to be a stripper or a porn star? Heck no. But that's what these women are encouraging. Look at these women. They got their boobs out. And this girl's questioning what he's saying, and what he's saying is 100%. What he's saying is the truth. All these girls are dressed like escorts, and they're all raised on the same stuff.
Really know what's going to make a good wife anymore, what's going to make a good feminine woman anymore, because that's seen as oppressive. And feminism has done that, and has brainwashed all of you.
What do you...
100%. Feminism is the reason. Feminism has brainwashed women. Feminism is anything but feminine. Feminism is anything but positive for women. It's the exact opposite, and it's the most. I've said this before. I'll probably say it again. Feminism is the worst thing to happen to humanity since wars. It is so insidious. It's so damaging. It's so bad. Encouraging women to kill their children, encouraging women to be promiscuous, encouraging women to be in competition with men, to hate men, to accuse men, to attack men. Go on any feminist page and scroll through and look at the faces and the pictures of the women who are raging in these feminist pages, they all look damaged. They all look messed up. They all look angry and unhealthy mentally. You know, is a good wife, is she going to be acting like a feminist? Is she going to be raging against men? Heck no. First of all, she's probably not going to be online at all. If you get a wife, I hope she doesn't go online. There's nothing good online, really. I mean, you know, okay, you could say there's information, you know, you could say that you could talk to people, which you can, and you know, that's there, but most people who go online, they just use it to argue, they use it to spew hatred, or they use it to sell their body, they use it for attention, they use it to get thirsty men to give them money, or thirsty men to, you know, I mean, it's, you don't want your wife on social media. And hopefully you don't want a feminist, because that you're not going to have any good kind of marriage. Now, I've said before in the past on some of my videos that all women are feminists, and that's kind of true to an extent. But again, and I have to make this point, is that I'm actually pro classical feminism. Like, you know, basic right to vote, you know, which has been called under question, and I've questioned it myself before. It's like, should it? But, you know, everybody deserves rights. Everybody deserves the right to freedom, the right of choice, the right, you know, to vote, the right to, you know, have bodily autonomy insofar as you have your own choice. But however, you know, when it comes to like pro-life, I'm pro-life. So you can't, your bodily autonomy ends when there's another body inside of you. I don't care if it's feeding off of you. That's not the point. But not to go too far on a tangent, you know, I'm for classical feminism. I'm for rights, but I don't believe second wave. I think second wave feminism was just horrible. Third wave feminism is worse. It's all damage. It's all nasty. After second wave feminism, after you know, the civil rights movement in the 1960s, everything went down. You know, women got just nastier. Now they're just, you know, I don't even know if there's a right word that I can describe how these modern feminists are. I mean, it's scary that they are so damaged, and they are so I mean, you can't even have conversations with them. It's just like, it's just nastiness. But anyway, yeah, man, great video here. Sneako tells it like it is. Modern feminism is just not it. You know, find a traditional woman if you can. Find a traditional woman if you can. Find a Christian woman who reads the Bible and believes in the Proverbs, who believes, you know, in what it talks about in 1 Corinthians, what it talks about in Ephesians, I think chapter 5. You know, women are happiest when they're homemakers taking care of children, and believe it or not, their nature wants to submit to men. I don't like to use that word because it sounds oppressive, but it's not submit in the sense that the man is some absolute totalitarian tyrant. That's not it either. And if a man is acting like that, or trying to use the Bible to act like that, then he's wrong, because it's not a tyrant. A leader is not a tyrant. Women like men to be leaders. Women like their men to be leaders, believe it or not. So, anyway, I don't want to go too far off on other tangents, but he's 100% right. They're brainwashed by modern media, by this music, and I've been saying that from day freaking one. That's what did it. It was Britney Spears in the late 90s. It was Jennifer Lopez in the early 2000s. It was Beyonce. It was Taylor Swift, it was Kesha, it was Madonna, you name it. And this is, you know, how the devil has used these tools and these platforms to ruin these women. And look at the fruits of that. Look at the result. OnlyFans, Pornhub, Instagram models, strippers, call girls, escorts. You know, they're all doing it. This is what all these girls are doing. This is why they're on this show, because they're oh, you know, check out my Instagram. Woo woo woo. That's what they're doing.
You're a high class man.
Men became more feminine, and as a result, women became more masculine.
Yes.
That's
yes.
Yeah, that is what happened. You know, they're they put stuff in the water. They, fluoride. They put, GMO modified soy. I think you can actually Google it. Testosterone is the lowest now that it's ever been. In the 1950s, testosterone, men had testosterone through the roof. Now it's all men don't have testosterone anymore because there's stuff in the food, stuff in the water. And then you have, single moms raising young boys. You've got effeminate young men because their mom raised them. They don't know how to be a man. They don't know how to be masculine. They're too emotional. They're not rational enough. And women are trained to be boss women. They're trained to, act like men, and men don't like that. It's not attractive. Women think it is because they're always projecting. They know what they want in a man, and they think what they want in a man is the same thing what a man wants in a woman, because they're brainwashed by this equality culture, when the truth is men don't want masculine women. Men don't want competitive, bossy, wannabe alpha female women. They're not attracted to that. We like women who are feminine. And that's not somebody who's disagreeable with everything we do. That's not somebody who's trying to run the show. And that's not a healthy type of competition. That's not a healthy relationship when you have competition with your partner, because men have enough competition. We struggle with ourselves. We struggle being competent. We struggle with our jobs. We struggle competing in the workforce. We don't need to fight other men. We don't need to fight women. Life is hard enough as it is. Let's make it easier on each other. Let's live in a love-filled society as much as we can. Right? That's the type of mentality that I've always had. Be kind to one another. Be kind to everybody. Not just children and pets. Be kind to the elderly. Be kind to your family. Be kind to your neighbors as much as possible. Be kind to people out on the street. Show kindness. Show love. We don't need to be fighting and arguing and me. I need to be number one. I need to win. And I know it's a struggle. It's hard. But that's not what makes it a quality society. And we lost that somewhere along the way. And it's not just feminism that did that either. It's also this progressive American greedy capitalist type of mentality, which we've had for a long time. Get ahead by any means, cheat, lie, steal, all about that capital gain. And I'm not pumping communism. I'm just pumping love. I'm pumping, quality society again. I'm talking about kindness. I'm talking about being neighborly and showing love. And now it's just like, we live in such a, nobody trusts anybody. Nobody is kind to anybody. Nobody is cordial. Nobody's, because you got people who are out on the street, road raging or just angry. People walking around angry. Where's the love? Where's the humanity anymore? Because everybody's being selfish. Everybody's being greedy. So the last thing a man needs is a aggressive, competitive woman who's trying to run the show, who's trying to lead, and she's not even qualified to lead. And women generally are just not qualified leaders. Now that doesn't mean that like there's not any brilliant women out there. That doesn't mean there's not any very competent, very intelligent women out there. There is. And if you're around one, then I always say You know, whatever's the best is what you should go with. If her idea is better than yours, then go with her idea. There's nothing wrong with acquiescing as a man, or admitting you're wrong as a man, right? You can admit you're wrong. You can say, you know what, you got a better idea than me. I'm gonna go with that idea. That sounds like a better, you know, and it's hard to do sometimes. It's challenging for men to admit that they're wrong or drop their own, you know, will. You know, oh, I think we should do it my way, you know, sometimes it's not your way. Sometimes a woman can be right. Women have wisdom too, but there has to be a balance, and nobody's right all the time. And so I hate this, you know, believe all women kind of thing too, where it's like, oh, you can't question a woman or else you're a misogynist and whatever and it's like, women shouldn't put that type of pressure on themselves. And really that's an ego thing too. It's like, well, I'm a woman, so whatever I say goes. And a lot of times it's backed up by these simps, because women, you know, have an army of simps that they collect online or wherever in their life. And these are basically just yes men who are basically just telling the woman whatever she wants to hear. So maybe, hopefully, she'll give them a piece of action, you know. And what all that does is it hypes up her own ego. It makes her a narcissist. Oh, I can manipulate these guys. I can, you know, these guys are hanging on my every word. So you know, whatever I say goes, and that's a false type of wisdom, right? So again, I'm not saying a woman has to just be this, you know, she can't speak up in a relationship, or she can't, you know, we should never disqualify any human, male or female, particularly, you know, with regards to their gender or their social status or their financial status. If someone's right, someone's right. If someone is wise, someone is wise, and it just is what it is. There's no gender or status or any, you know, thing like that correlated to it. You know, you should treat the janitor the same way you treat the CEO in a way. I mean, as far as like how much you care about you know, you should care about the janitor just like you care about the CEO of the building. They're all human at the end of the day. Maybe one has worked harder, or maybe one has worked in a more intelligent way to get what that's fine, and that should be respected as much as it is warranted. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and we've all been born, and we're all going to die, and it just is what it is. We should show respect and show love for everybody. And with that said, you know, we can't throw men under the bus, and we can't uplift women. That's why feminism is such a dangerous ideology. You know? But anyway, I think I'm going to end it there. I just wanted to kind of reiterate a lot of these points that I've been saying, which is just, you know, people now are coming out and noticing. But I've been saying this for years, and I'm not trying to take credit. I mean, it just is what it's just the truth. It's not like I came up with anything. I just observed and said, oh yeah, okay, that's what's going on. These women are listening to these divas and you know, Mariah Carey's, and you know, these women who were like, oh, she's so beautiful, and these are not role models. And feminist women are not correct either. It's, you know, feminism is based on a lie. It's based on myths. It's based on untruths. It's based on skewing statistics. I don't want to go too far off into a tangent, but the stuff that they talk about is not on the level. It's phony. These are not role models. These are not good people. And they do not push a noble or righteous ideology most of the time. Now, I'm not saying there's no women who are oppressed per se. I'm not saying I'm not saying no women, you know, I'm not saying no woman ever has something bad happen to them or anything like that. But what they've done is they've taken certain things and they've ran with them. Feminism really shouldn't even exist as far as a current living ideology, so to speak, because they already have their rights. Women are actually privileged. Women are in a more privileged position than men on so many levels. So many levels. They have the upper hand in pretty much everything. Marriage, politics, finances, entertainment. This whole concept that women are put down and men are uplifted is just not true. Women are shoo-ins. They get everything handed to them, really. And I'm not sitting here hating. It's just that's the truth, and it sucks as a man because you're like, dang, can I have a little bit of that privilege? Can I have a little bit of that gift that you guys get for free? No, I probably can't, can I? Because I'm not the right gender. I'm not the right color, or whatever. Right? This whole concept that like, oh, you're a white male, so you have some kind of privilege is just nonsense. I don't get any privilege. I don't get any benefits. I don't get any anything from that, from my skin color or my gender. Like, actually the opposite is true. I'm looked on with suspect eyes. Women purposely treat me bad because this is how they're indoctrinated by feminism, that I'm the enemy, I'm potentially dangerous, or I'm this, I'm that. Now if I was better looking, it'd probably be a different story, but anyway. Alright, anyway. I think I'm going to leave it there. I appreciate you guys listening. It's been Jay Lee with Northwest Podcast. Peace.